Hi, it's Kate with the Thaiger, here with today's top headlines in Thailand and Southeast Asia. Stay tuned for a quick update on the COVID-19 situation in Thailand, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In Thailand, a new disease control law is in the works to replace the emergency decree, which was imposed at the start of the pandemic last year and has been extended several times. According to the Bangkok Post, the Thai cabinet has approved a draft amendment to the country's Communicable Disease Act. The emergency decree has facilitated the government's efforts to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, and under the decree, the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration was established. The decree is set to expire at the end of the month, and the Bangkok Post says the new disease control law is expected to be enacted. More information on the draft amendment will be reported this evening in Thailand News Today. Thai border agencies have been instructed to tighten security along the border with Myanmar to look out for those smuggling weapons. The move comes after reports of arms dealers smuggling military-grade weapons into Myanmar, which are being used in fights between military and rebel forces following the February coup. The Bangkok Post says security intelligence agencies are ordered to focus on gathering information on the sources of the weapons, as well as the transportation routes used to traffic the weapons. The Phuket Vegetarian Festival will be scaled down this year and under tight restrictions to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The week-long festival, where some practice self-mutilation to connect with the spirit world, draws tourists from all over the country and the world. The Phuket governor announced that this year's festival, from October 5th to the 15th, will have restrictions on activities and the number of participants. Along with following the basic disease control measures like wearing masks and temperature checking, the ceremonial activities must be scaled down. Fireworks and flares are banned, and both spirit mediums and their assistants must be fully vaccinated and test negative for COVID-19. The Bangkok Post says displays of supernatural power through mediums are banned, but the report did not go into detail about exactly what that means. Police in the northeastern province Nakhon Ratchasima have been heavily criticized after they were seen using an official police van on what appeared to be a trip to the beach. Police have cleared up the misconception, saying the officers were on official business after detaining a murder suspect, and the van was not used for personal use. Police formed a fact-finding committee to investigate the incident. Videos showed the police arriving at a beach in Phetchaburi and the men getting out in civilian clothing and having a meal by the beach. And here are the top headlines in Southeast Asia. In Cambodia, the Associated Press reports that 8 hatchlings from one of the world's rarest crocodile species, the endangered Siamese crocodile, have been found in a wildlife sanctuary in eastern Cambodia. The country's Environment Ministry and the World Wildlife Fund made the announcement yesterday. In Myanmar, the country's ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi pleaded not guilty to charges of incitement, according to a report in Reuters. The Burmese military took over the government in February, detaining Suu Kyi. Yesterday, the prosecution testified that Suu Kyi went against COVID-19 restrictions last year during elections where her National League of Democracy Party won by a landslide. In Malaysia, the country's prime minister wrote on Twitter that Malaysia has reached its target of fully vaccinating 80% of the adult population. According to a report in Bloomberg, the country will open more tourist destinations and soon allow convenience stores and petrol stations to stay open until midnight. In the Philippines, schools have been closed since the start of the pandemic last year to contain the spread of COVID-19. But according to the news outlet DW, human rights advocates warn that millions of children who do not have access to the internet are missing out on an education, and that the distance learning has increased an education gap for children in poor and rural areas. And here's a quick update on the COVID-19 situation in Thailand. Today, 11,252 new COVID-19 cases and 141 coronavirus-related deaths were reported by the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration. Since April 1st, in the latest and most severe wave of the virus in Thailand, 1,482,494 people have tested positive for COVID-19. In the 24-hour period since the last count, the CCSA has recorded 13,695 recoveries. There are now 129,071 people being treated for COVID-19 in Thailand. And that wraps up the update on the COVID-19 situation in Thailand. For more news on Thailand, go to thetiger.com or check out our evening show, Thailand News Today.